Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching this video and wherever you're watching this video. Okay, so sorry. I have to apologize that I've not been catching up and updating a lot of information to the community. It's just because of a lot of work and a lot of events I have to catch up with, mostly online. Of course, there's still coronavirus and we have to stay safe. So this afternoon I want to talk about value-added tax. Of course, I've talked about it. I've written up an article about it, and I hope that you all read it and understood what it is. Although I've not received any questions, so I want to presume that we understand. However, I still always, like I always do, try to do a video of whatever I put up on the community so that we can have better understanding, because I understand that so many people don't like to read too long posts. So today, value-added tax, what is it? What is it all about? So the definition is, value-added tax is a tax imposed on the supply of goods and services in Nigeria, and same is collected at each stage of production and distribution chain up to the final consumer. So what that means is, from manufacturer to the wholesaler to the retailer and to the consumer, with all of that chain like that, there is VAT being paid. So for instance, if a manufacturer manufactures this mouse and probably selling that 5,000 naira to a wholesaler, upon that transaction, say 5,000 naira for this, the wholesaler pays 5,000 naira, which is the cost, and 7.5%. The rate of VAT today is 7.5%. So it collects 7.5% of that 5,000 naira as VAT. So the wholesaler is paying it to the manufacturer because it is believed that the manufacturer is properly registered and has a TIN number. Now, when you collect that 7.5%, I am not a mathematician, but I want to believe 7.5% should be about 75 naira for this. So you're paying 75 naira. You're paying 5,075 naira, something like that. That's what you're going to be parting with to the manufacturer. Now, the manufacturer is not the owner of that 75 naira. He's supposed to remit it back to the tax authority on or before the 21st of the following month. So let's say this transaction occurred on 15th of July, this month, 15th of July. The manufacturer is supposed to remit that 75 naira back to tax authority on or before the 21st of August. So that is the basic thing that is there. Now, of course, you're going to sell a lot of these, you're going to sell other product probably. So you calculate the 7.5% of all those things that you have sold in the course of that month and remit that money back to the tax authority the following month. That's just it. Now, this continues. So when the wholesaler is selling to retailers where we now buy from, the retailers is also, maybe he has now upped the price from 5,000 to say 7,000, be 5,500. Now, the retailer that is buying from the wholesaler will definitely pay the cost plus 7.5% of the cost as VAT. Again, the wholesaler collects it and remits it to the tax authority on or not before the 21st of the following month. Then we, the consumer, we go to the retailers to buy probably, and we are paying whatever it is that they are charging, maybe 1,000 naira now. You're paying 1,000 naira plus the 7.5% of 1,000 naira. So that is the chain of transaction, and that's the way we pay VAT, and that's VAT is continually paid like that. So basically, that is all what tax is about. And I've told you that VAT is being collected by Federal Inland Revenue Service. That is the federal tax authority, and they're the ones to collect this VAT. So that being said, the next thing is, it is important for us to understand that as a business owner, whose services or product is not exempted, that is, it is vatable, you have to pay VAT on it. Those kind of services must charge VAT. Now, it is important that you charge it. I am a legal practitioner. I render legal services for people. If I'm, say, for instance, registering a company for you, I'll charge you plus VAT. You can either make your VAT visible or invisible. What I mean by that is, in some bill of charges we prepare in my office, for instance, maybe we are going to court, maybe the issue is litigation. When we are giving you your bill of charges, we are going to charge you cost of filing in court, cost of serving your processes, cost our own professional fees, and the VAT. So we are making it visible for you that, okay, you are paying, maybe our professional charges is say 500,000, for instance. Our VAT is going to be 7.5% of that 500,000, because it is our service that is VATable, right? So that's how we make it so visible. In some other instances, we don't make it visible. For instance, if we are registering company for you and we are giving you your bill, we can just give you we want to register a limited liability company for you. We are charging you 120,000 naira. We just leave it at that, meaning that in our mind we have added VAT to it. So when we are remitting our VAT the following month, we remove it from that 120,000 naira. So we are not making it known to you that what you are paying is inclusive of VAT. So it depends. You can make it either visible. So instead of you saying 5,000 naira, this mouse is 5,000 naira and VAT is 75 naira. Instead of you saying that, you can just say my mouse is 575 naira. So in your mind, you know that, okay, the 75 naira is VAT. So that is how that is done. So like I said, it is an offense, a crime at it, if you don't charge VAT and your goods or products are not exempted. So you must charge it, you must collect it, and you must remit it. Now, if you don't do any of this, the tax authority believes that or presumes that you have collected the VAT. So if we presume that you have collected the VAT, you then have to remit it. And if you don't remit it, they will bill you that you have collected it. So you are going to pay from your profit or your cost of operation. Somehow you have to pay it. So it is better to do the needful than err and pay for what you're not even liable or you didn't even eat. Like our Nigerian people will say. I'm sure you understand. So there are some products that are exempted, and that is medical products, pharmaceutical products. They're exempted from VAT. You don't need to charge VAT for those things. Basic food items, you don't need to charge VAT. Books and educational materials, that's if you are in a school and you are rendering services like crèche, all those kind of things, is not VATable. Then baby products, you're selling baby products, is not VATable. Fertilizers. Then if you are exporting out of Nigeria, it is not also VATable. Then plant and machinery imported for use in export processing, all those things, plant machinery, equipment purchased for utilization of gas, downstream petroleum operations, all those things are not VATable. Tractors, plow, all those agricultural stuff, it is not VATable. Medical services rendered by community banks, People's Bank, mortgage institution, play conducted by educational institution, and as part of learning. So all those things are not VATable. They have been exempted from payment and charging and filing of VAT. So there's no need to charge VAT for all these things. So if your business falls within all of this, you are free from VAT. Importantly, one thing I also have to talk about is that according to the new law, there's this Finance Act that everybody was shouting about in January of this year. Now that act has given a lot of people peace of mind when it comes to VAT, because if your turnover is less than 25 million naira in a year, if it's less than 25 million naira in a year, that is all the money you have made in the cost, not your profit, your entire money, that if plus cost to plus profit that came into your account, that came into your business in the course of one calendar or one assessment year, is not up to 25 million. Then you don't need to charge VAT. You don't need to charge VAT. You don't need to file VAT. You don't need to remit VAT. So 2019, all the money that came into your business is less than 25 million naira. You are exempted from payment of VAT. But if it is more than 25 million, please charge VAT, file VAT, and remit VAT. There's a difference between filing and remitting. When you pay, now when you go to the tax authority tax office rather nearest or closest to you, they are going to give you a form. You're going to fill it and state there why the transaction you've done, the amount of VAT you collected, and what you have paid. So you are going to feel that that is you filing, so you can see the what you have filed, and you're going to attach your account statement to it, so for that month. So basically that is what VAT is. It's simple, it's easy, but you know, I understand that most of us are business owners and we want to focus on the operations of our business, and that's why we don't have time for all these things. And that is why it's important for you to have a compliance, a secretary, anybody in your small circle that can do this work for you. If you have to outsource it, you can outsource it to professionals that will still render these services for you without you breaking the bank. Like in our own organization, we have a platform for small business owners, and you know, that program helps us to render services to business owners, legal services for business owners, for a token that would not break that business. So you can always, you know, check us, send us messages, and we'll be ready to respond to your message. I hope you've learned something in this video and in this class. Thank you so much for joining, and I can't wait to see you in the next class. Have an amazing day.